Hey y'all, what's up Virgos? It is currently 4:03 and let's just get into this, okay? I already got some downloads before I started to read, so I'll just get into those. We're gonna get really specific about who this read is for because I feel like I have a deeper understanding of the type of Virgoans who are visiting the channel and getting their messages, child. So you'll know if it's you, okay? So, boom. You may feel like that you have a certain level of like favor over you, over your life, over your destiny, your mission, your purpose, whatever. And if you didn't know that, maybe you got in some like hints that might be the case. Like yesterday I was out and I saw a license plate and it said just favor. I was trying to I took a couple seconds to try to make sure I knew what it was saying, but I'm pretty sure it said just favor. And I feel like I saw that personally, and I feel like you guys can relate to this. The only reason that I'm saying this to you guys, but some of you guys almost can't believe that the work that you've done is paying off in the way that it is. Some of you are just very surprised by your level of dharma, your good karma, and some people who are around you, you're seeing just how irritated and angry that it makes certain people around you. And y'all, again, this is not about it just looks like about my bang was down, but it keep getting on my lip gloss, so maybe this had to get tucked behind the ear, okay? But yeah, so I feel like you guys are noticing, and it probably just kind of I feel like it's really astonishing, very surprising, how strongly people feel about you and your life and what God has for you and what you've done. I feel like people know that you've been this, my bad, y'all, I'm not trying to mess with my hair, but I can't stand when it's like that on the side. But yeah, it's so many people know, I think, Virgo, that you're this really upright, kind of upstanding kind of person if you're on this channel or whatever. But I feel like a lot of people just wanted you to be the problem so much of the time, because maybe they just viewed you as this easy target or whatever, or just they thought you didn't have any standards, boundaries, they thought you wouldn't speak up for yourself and correct stuff. But I feel like you have proven that it's indeed the opposite. No, you're gonna clear your name. No, you're gonna make sure that people know what it is, type vibe or whatever. So you were the kind of person I'm talking to. It was something else that was coming up. Dang, y'all. I'm gonna just let it flow. I'm gonna just flow or whatever. I feel like you're about to come more in contact with, if you guys haven't already, with people who are more in your corner, in your I was gonna say in your pocket, which is kind of interesting, a group of words, because I feel like they're gonna be right there for you whenever you just need to kind of pull them out of your pocket, or just I feel like you've dealt with things in the past where people weren't there for you. You were always there for people and they were never there for you, and that's why they could have assumed oh, this person's an easy target, or they're easy to just do dirty because they're not gonna say anything, they're not gonna change. And they didn't have any idea that each time you were all right, noted. Anytime they were doing something to you, each time you were okay, noted. Your face was saying, okay, but your brain was and another one, and we got another one, bitch. And you were just waiting for it to hit 3 strikes, 5 strikes, until that person was really out. And when you do that, people try to put it on you oh, Virgo's so cold, Virgo's so evil. It's something about Virgo I don't like, because one minute they like this and the next minute they like that. But they never talk about everything that they did to lead up to those events. And it just got people kind of confused about where you were. And some people are even looking at you dang, this person kind of was the shit this whole time, and I couldn't even see them that way because I'm too busy listening to Lisa and them. If you know, you know. Go get Lisa and them. Shout out to Bernie Mac, rest in peace to him. But yeah, I feel like you guys, the way people are reacting to you these days, I think is just really finally people are seeing me and treating me like I need to be treated. And it's not even just because you've put people in their places that they belong in your life. It's that you're just not even giving people that much grace anymore that you were giving them before. And another thing, that was the other thing. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I feel like I'm talking to a group of non-religious Virgos, and I feel like you just maybe refer to yourself as like non-religious or whatever, because it's hard to like pick. If somebody asks you what you believe in or what your faith is or what your religion is, you just say you don't have one, because it's hard to like explain when you're a believer or you're in between being a believer and a non-believer or whatever. And y'all, please, if you've been here, if you've seen some of my old videos, you guys should know my left ear is really ringing right now. But like, okay, all right. My brain was just like rewiring or like readjusting for what I'm about to say. But and help me with this, Holy Spirit, holy angels, ancestors. But I didn't always have the best time like being a believer. Like, I've struggled with my belief on and off throughout the years. After like around the time I think I got sick, which was like 2019, like right before COVID and during COVID, and a little bit after, like I struggled in those like 6 to 7 years with my faith, like on and off. Like, it's like I never lost my faith, but I feel like the world was showing me every reason why I should just like give up on being happy, blissful, chipper, hopeful, optimistic. Like, every time I was coming off optimistic to people, or I would describe myself that way, I literally would like see people looking at me like, is this girl out her mind? Like, is she crazy? Is she on something? Like, this bitch, you know, that kind of energy. Like, optimistic, what's that? Like, you know, people treating me so weird for like hanging on to faith. And it's like the faith was getting beaten the shit out of me, and I just was like holding on to just a little bit of it. It's because like something within me just needed the goodness that I felt inside of me, not to be validated, but to be like, in a way, validated, but not, not by necessarily the world outside of me, but within my life experience. I'm like, well, surely if I have this little bit of faith still, and I'm still trying to be a good person, like, surely God will bless me. Like, surely God will take me out of this hellscape that I'm experiencing. But the whole time I didn't realize that when people say I am God and I'm God, that's when I knew like that was the sweet spot. But I was getting it wrong, because every little thing that I was gaining that was good was like, I was like, oh, well, it's because I'm God, and I made it that way. And a part of that is true. I am God. You are God. We are a part of God. We function as a piece of God. We are literally like cells in God's body. So it's like, it's up to us to be healthy cells so that we can have a healthy whole and like have that, you know, kind of like multiply itself. But that's a talk for another time. The point is you know, I had to go in many levels to like get to where I am now, so you guys might really like relate to that. But like, when I say God, I truly mean the force of like the biggest, most largest like force of creation, the thing that created everything beautiful and perfect and balanced. And I feel like all the darkness is just that lower part of God that kind of just like went rogue. Is like a mutation, and it's just a thing that has happened in this natural world that we live in this natural experience that we're living in as light, as souls in a body. And I've learned to like basically like be more of a, use my power, right? Use the part of me that is God. Use my power to, I didn't know that the self-love, thank you, Holy Spirit, was like me going, you know what? You don't make me happy. You don't respect my happiness. You don't respect my growth. You don't respect what I am and who I am. So you cannot be around me. You don't make me feel good when I'm around you. I can't put my finger on it. You didn't show me anything necessarily bad about yourself, but when I come around you, I feel uneasy. I feel strange. I feel weird. And be okay with putting people where they belong. At first I would feel bad, like, oh, I don't want to, I thought it was like God to be like, oh, like, I'm gonna still give you a chance even though you make me feel weird. I'm gonna still show you not grace, because I will still give people grace, but grace doesn't mean sit in my face. Grace doesn't mean come into my home. Grace doesn't mean let me give you some of my wealth. That's not what it always means. Sometimes it just means to not look at them like they crazy, to not curse them out for speaking, or, you know, I don't know. I thought that being rude or mean wasn't being like God, but sometimes, you know, as a woman, even I had to realize that like being certain ways were like groomed into me as a woman just so I can be more agreeable. And as young men, some of you, depending on your race, your culture, ethnicity, whatever, you may have been groomed in that way to be a certain way like that in certain spaces as well. And that's the part of you that is God that people are trying to control. It's you who gets to decide how you experience life ultimately and what you will and won't accept. So like that is like that long like intro was like the start of your read, Virgo. And the top of the card on the top of the deck, already shuffled up everything, it looks like it's all paying off. So I feel like I said, slowly you're getting signs that all the work that you've put in whatever amount of time that you may have been only working for a few days, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, maybe a few years, decades, okay? But you're finally starting to get signs of like, yeah, the door just closed on its own. It does that because the wind and whatever. So, yeah. I was supposed to get 7. Is this 7? No, it's 6. Give me one more. All right, so I feel like the biggest like thing about you guys' read today is gonna be you. Some of you guys are still trying to figure out, like, sometimes I feel like it's a little difficult to know who to offer time to and energy to, because sometimes it's just not as clear as we'd like it to be, if that makes sense. Like, I'll give you an example. I won't say no names or tell any of my business, but I've encountered people lately where they have a cool personality, like they're good as like friends, but it started off where maybe they've shown that they were interested in me in a way that is a little bit more than a friend. To me, actual interaction, that's not even more than a friend. To me, that's less than a friend, because you could just be an empty brain doing that activity and won't even be a friend to a person. So I feel like people will be interested in other things besides friendship, like a homie that they just learn basically gather information. Like each person kind of treats each other like, if people treated each other like learning manuals or like books, a manual on dealing with people, like sometimes people just want to be around you to learn something about a new type of person. Sometimes people want to be around you for, you know, cheap thrills, let's put it like that. Sometimes people want you around for validation and like to attract things to them using your energy. And sometimes people are really interested in being more a friend or better to you, and that could be a long-time business partner, colleague, a something like family, a community member, your man or woman. Like it really depends, right? So, you know, I've been around people lately where even if I look at them like, okay, this person's attractive on paper, you know, they're attractive. Like I don't look at them and go, oh, he's ugly. He might not be my type, or they might not be my type, but they are a handsome person. Oh, that on paper they do have their stuff together. Oh, they do work hard. They care about people. They're a gentleman. They're this, they're that. But it's just something that's not working, and you going, okay, it's all about standards. And it's not even just romantically, I mean for friends too, and homies. Whatever you're gonna be for a person, it's the standard of what you will and won't accept. And it's okay for you to like be picky about it, because it seems like the pickings are slim with people these days, because people are so like fickle and like really strange these days. But I promise you, you can't let that thought win, because there's just groups in spaces of people that are just so wonderful. So somebody feels like they're not playing with you, Virgo. Like somebody feels like they're trying to like strong arm their way into your life. And I feel like that kind of energy for most of y'all are not liking it, not dealing with it. Look at the little face I drew on there. The person who feels this way towards you feels over shit, and it's like I'm the one who you're trying to be forceful with, so I'm over shit. If it's a Virgo, if a Virgo want to deal with you, you're not gonna have to strong arm them in any way, unless they're a toxic Virgo. Then that's another story, and I'm not finna talk to you about that, because I'm not about to teach you how to deal with a toxic Virgo. We're not doing that here. No. But yeah, but somebody in this equation has long hair, and I feel like the person who feels this way towards you could have long hair, or you could be the long-haired person. It all depends on what your perspective is on long hair. This is going to be longer than I intended, but we're going to try to shorten it up as much as we can. The answer is yes about something, but there's also, you should work on that energy here. And there's an affirmation, I am whole. And there's an affirmation that there will be far travel. And then you have the vehicle card. So some of you guys could be traveling far. Some of you guys could be traveling far in a vehicle. Let's see. Let's get more into this. Actually, before we get into the tarot or whatever, let's see what kind of person, like what kind of people are surrounding Virgo at this time. Like what kind of people are around Virgo. And I'm just going to be very like superficial and judgmental when I look at these cards. And if I have a deep thought, then I'll say it. But otherwise, I feel like people really value my like superficial, judgmental opinion about things. Somebody could be a little slightly overweight, thick or overweight. They can have short hair, and it could be a woman, or it could be a trans woman. It doesn't matter. But I'm getting like kind of like a thicker girl, brownness to her skin. I'm not really getting like a pale. She don't have to be black or a person of color, but definitely a rich skin tone, no matter what color she is. But I am getting like a brown tan kind of skin tone, you know, whatever. But this person may also have like short, thick hair. Yeah, it's just giving thick, you know. Very sacral driven. So this person can be very edgy, will say, or they could be very creative. But I'm really just picking on a heavily sensual person, let's put it like that. And this person was exposed to a lot in their teen years. I feel like this may have been like, I don't know why I'm going into this depth, but clearly it's necessary. I feel like it was a part of their life journey to like learn from these like sensual mistakes, to maybe learn how to kind of speak up when they feel like they're being, you know, roughhoused or aggressed, or maybe even, you know, just finessed in a sensual way. You know what I'm saying? Essay or something like that. But this person, they use their voice, but they may not use it in a way that actually benefits them or others. I feel like this is a person who has let their pain kind of like harm them, and they don't use it to like speak up for good or something like that. Like that's just really what I'm getting. This person is very much so, could be like a friend to you or a family member, but this gives me like, not a friend, but like an old friend, right? It says you can find friends in the darkest places. Literally, I'm getting this is someone you were once friends with. And this person could have like a unisex name, or their name could begin with a B or an H. So a unisex name would be like if you're a girl and your name is Alex or Tommy or something like that. But if not, like I said, it just starts with a B or an H. But that's one of the people that are around you. One of these people could be a male, tall, slender, or maybe like a little stocky, but like mostly slender though. It's giving white male, or just pale skinned male or whatever. Yeah, they don't gotta be white, just pale, probably a little tall. Some of them can have red hair or just light colored hair, full beard, or just like some facial hair. And then we also, and there's not much I'm getting for that one, except this kind of person likes to hang around the guys and maybe talk about women. They could also be a little bit, you know, experimental with their male friends, even if they don't speak on it. But this is a person who definitely is like into the patriarchy. Like they realize that it's beneficial, and they don't necessarily, you know, speak against that, or like they're not against that. Like they're kind of fine with it, even if they may not necessarily be like a macho man. He has this pink cup in his hand. I noticed the pink cups in the guy's hands. This is a person who will speak softly. It's like they take from the feminine playbook, but they don't necessarily give as much they don't spend time around enough like healthy females, I think. So they spend their time around like healthy men or like soft men who are similar to them or something, because maybe they get judged from other women for being so, by like toxic women for being like a gentle man, right? Somebody who's quite loving as well. Interesting. Yeah, and then we have another guy, could be another like kind of fairer skinned guy, I guess, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Not very, very tall, maybe like 5'7" and up. But this person wears their heart on their sleeve, has a lot of girls around them. They're thinking about you heavily. Ladies man type, definitely around you. They're used to girls coming after them, but they are experiencing like feeling like super drawn to you. It's like they're kind of annoyed maybe because they're just like, why don't this one person show me attention? Like all these just show me attention. Why is this person not showing me any attention? And they are just like constantly thinking over and over about the time that they did spend with you, because honey, you are the queen bee in this person's brain, but they like low-key kind of hate it. I feel like you dealt with this person definitely like at a time that's not the present or the future, and that will not change. I feel like this person wants to be a part of whatever you have going on now, but I feel like you know to not allow that or something. Yeah, there's a group of people who feel defeated by the fact that you just have this like new life and these new experiences and possibilities. So you could be feeling a lot of that, especially because of this new moon in Aries energy. Is like people cannot hide their jealousy, and if they're not showing it, if you're not around these people to see it on their face or seeing them on the socials or in person and just seeing how they feel, like you can feel it. You could be feeling it in your dreams. You could be having random thoughts about people. You could be meeting people who remind you of these people, and it's just, or you could be having random memories of things that these people have said or done that shows their true colors that you never really noticed before. So that's coming out for somebody. Let's open it up and get some more. Like, we're probably gonna go for about 3 more minutes. We'll make this 25 minutes. Yeah, so you are super satiated emotionally. You don't need anything. You're not looking for anything. You're like not, it's not that you're closed off to like receiving more, but you don't need anything, and people can tell, they can feel that in your energy, how mature you are and how comfortable you are in your life and yourself, and people be wanting a piece of that. And regardless of where you go and who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, just never forget that about yourself, Virgo. That you have the kind of energy that's like sugar water to hummingbirds. They want some, okay? And no matter how people treat you, they want some. They could be acting like they don't see you, hear you, smell you, feel you. They want some of you in some sort of way, and it's not always in like a sexy way. But you are definitely the queen of swords. Like, you don't allow everyone to come towards you. Like, they have to make it past the tip of your sword to even get in your energy, and people feel a way about that. So you have to be prepared to deal with that reality that you're in, that you're gonna be like kind of like exalted everywhere you go just because your energy speaks so loud. And when you're just not like open to folks, you got to deal with people. Like, I'll give you an example, y'all. The other day I was like recording myself, like a video talking. You know, you can tell when you're recording yourself because you might hold your phone a little high or whatever. So I'm recording myself, and to me it looks like obvious that I'm recording myself. The phone's hella close to my face, like it was raised. I'm looking at the camera, like doing all that and talking to myself on a video while I'm waiting on the light to change so I can cross the street. And this, at this particular intersection, it takes a while for the light to change. So I knew I had enough time to say my little 1-2 on my video. And I was basically talking in the video about the gays. And it was something funny, like basically put some respect on the gays, lingo, and blah, blah, blah. And that was it. So this lady who was just this random lady or whatever, looking, you know how you can tell somebody just kind of came out of the house, they don't really care how they look, they just kind of come out of the house. That's kind of what she was giving or whatever, look wise or whatever. This matters for the story, but she literally, I just saw her like start to kind of talk and like look a certain way towards me, and she's saying something like, y'all people always da 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 da, y'all need to da da da, and I could tell she was directing it at me. So I was just like, I heard her say like, always got y'all cameras out recording people, y'all gonna have the wrong one, da da da. I said, are you talking to me, ma'am? And I couldn't help but to giggle. I'm like, I'm not recording you. I say, you see, I literally said to her, y'all, I say, you see me, I look good as fuck. I'm recording myself. I'm not recording you. Everybody's not recording you. You need to not be so quick to jump to that conclusion because, ma'am, you're loud and wrong or whatever. And I'm still annoyed. Like, I'm walking across the street and the apology wasn't as loud as the disrespect. So I just kept going. I'm just like, girl, like, y'all be killing me. Like, people be thinking they on camera. Nobody want to record y'all. Like, nobody wanted to get you on camera, boo. And I was like trying my best to not eat her up too much. And then I like put on my phone and she was like a little bit behind me. So I showed her, I said, baby, that's all you see is my face. You see my face right there? That's me. And she, oh, okay, sorry. Then she finally got to the, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what Big Mama was waiting on. Cause watch your mouth. We're not doing that here. We don't do that here. Okay. So yeah, you gotta just be ready for the fact that people are gonna want to challenge you in strange ways just to kind of like make you feel like, okay, what kind of star do you think you are? You think you celebrity? You think you? And I've had an interaction. I remember an interaction like that back in high school. I was friends with a girl. I thought we was like this girl, and one day we was getting ready in the dressing room. I went to Performing Arts High School, guys. We were getting ready in the dressing room in the mirror. I'm looking for some eyeshadow. I don't know what happened. No altercation, no hot words were said, but she had the audacity to be like, "Did you think you some type of queen or something?" I was like, "What?" And that's like, I'm saying all that to say. And mind you, this was my friend. Like, we both felt like we was baddies. We both felt like we was spoiled queens. And we was the kind of girls we would go to each other's houses, like sleepovers, talk about how we that girl, how we the hottest, whatever. So, it's just those little situations that make you realize, like, damn, like, you got a problem with me for thinking highly of myself. You cannot be around me. And you have to be comfortable as a Virgo in person. I know it's a little bit weird, y'all. But life should show you at this point, and I'm going to close the reading, that everybody just can't come. Everybody can't even sit next to you. Everybody can't even sit at the table. And I'm getting that vision of somebody coming up to Ice Spice and just trying to act like something, oh, we was just trying to say hi or whatever. Say hi by the time we finna shake some ass and getting all up in a girl face, where you from, Like, bitches be kind of weird and fanned out. They don't know how to approach. So if you're not just so nice to them and like up their ass, like, they'll try to start something with you just to have proximity to you. So you guys have to be aware of that. That's what we're reading about. You need to work on getting used to that. You're going to get a lot of yeses. You're going to get a lot of what you want. And you're going to be in a lot of different places around a lot of different people. So you're going to have to just get used to that. That's what your reading is. This went way longer than it needed to, but it's okay because I literally haven't posted in days for you guys. So make sure y'all show this mad love. If y'all don't subscribe, just hit that bell icon and turn on your notifications so you never miss. Bookie. I love you guys and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Love.